Good evening and welcome back to Ells Messages. I ain't said that for ages. Ells Messages of Light. Well, changed my channel name now, so it's not Ells Messages of Light. But I've just done a live, a first live with my friend Chrissy, who the channel's multi-dimensional aspects of us. And their beautiful pictures. Yeah, I've been talking about this blue moon and the portal we've all just gone through and all of that on my last readings. Feeling like I've got a rocket up my butt, and I'm at the stage of my twin flame journey where I'm at that. So all the 8 years of spiritual healing and integration and purging and cleansing and all of that, what you go through on your healing journey, not just your twin flame, but on your healing journey, all seems to be merging now, coming into one. Yeah, know where this is going. Twin flame. So, you know, it's been separated. Yeah. Felt like quite a separation of these different parts of me, all these different fractals of myself. Now it just seems to be all coming together in one. I know why. I felt a major shift since the cave, Mary Magdalene. I'm going to pick some Mary Magdalene cards out today, and also, yes, these ones. Calling, saying the angels. So, yeah, just got off a laugh, I'm just figuring it out, you know. So we just thought, let's go, yeah, you know. Didn't have to split the screen or anything like that, but I just kept flipping the screen. So I was just figuring it out, because I'm just not good at technology. It's not my thing. Codes of the universe are my thing. Energy is my thing. Healing, helping heal others find that inside themselves is my thing. Just technology's not my thing. So we just was like, let's just try it, you know. So I went on live and I invited her, and then we was just flipping the screen back and forth. It's quite funny, but it was just being our real selves, you know. We weren't bothered or cared about what other people thought of us, because, you know, on this journey, when you first start to spiritually awake, you going into that cave of yourself. If you only speak about caves, it's because you're going into a cave, and it's the deepest, darkest cave of your shadows, of your ego, of all that needs to be stripped bare to be rebuilt, you know. So you're getting prepared. You may have heard me speak about twin flame, 144, chosen, light workers, way showers, all different labels for us, you know. I call myself the light holder. No? So yeah, I've given myself a new identity. And that's exactly what this path is. You're going into your shadows of your old identity, what you thought you was, what you've known yourself to be up until this point of your awakening. You're going into those shadows, not to merge out the same. No, you're going in for a whole new identity. Carl Jung. If you've read any of his books, which I haven't, but I'm going to in the future. I've read many books on healing and energy. Yeah, if you could see my library, which I'm going to show you a bit now, because if you follow me, you'll know that I channel the word channel. No automatic writing. This channeling, no. Just yeah, just coming on the way, authentic, you know, because that's what this journey is about. It's about showing up to be the true, authentic self of you. So you go in that cave, and you know you're human. You know that, you know, you've got all the traits of being a human. You've got the ego, you've got the doubts, you've got the judgment on yourself. You know, you take judgments off others coming in at you. You take that projections of others. You've got all those ego, those human programs. You know, what. No fault of ours, no fault of our parents, no fault of the ancestors, no fault of anybody. It's just the way it is, you know. I've got that song going in my head. That's just the way it is. Some people never change. Yeah, well, on this journey, you do change. Yeah, because it's a journey of change. It's a journey of finding your new identity. That one that's deep down inside of you, you know. Yeah, you go into the bone, you go into that, the hollow bone, you know, of healing. You go in there when you go into this cave. You go in, I'd say you go into the bone, but you're going beyond the bone also. You know, you go in DNA, you go in cellular, you go in there. It's a journey of, yeah, you go in there. You know, astral. I've had an astral projection. These books, you know, didn't come by books by chance. No. I've had a Kundalini. That was my first Kundalini book. Kundalini, that's your serpent, working up your chakras. That's your rainbow bridge that I speak of. And my light language, you know, these things that we come across during our time in that cave, the Lemurian way, came across that. I had a Lemurian past life. Merkaba, you've heard me speak of the Merkaba if you've caught my last reading. Our light body that we all have round us, we have to activate it now. But yeah, this is just a few of the resources that you come across when you start spiritually awake. And you know, you come across these because Spirit guides you to them. My library of, you know, educating spiritual, esoteric books is interesting. You know, my sister asked to borrow a book a few weeks back, and I was like, what would you like? Would you like Merkaba? Would you like light curves? Would you like Hermetics? And she was like, pass. You know, it's not for everybody, this path. The ones that awake, you'll find things like this. You know, you'll come across resources that Spirit's guiding you to find. But yeah, it's not for everybody. And I wrote down here, when you know, spiritual awakening, or whatever you may call it, everybody has their own label. You know, that's another thing. That's a human thing. We label things. No fault of our own. It's that programming. But yeah, I wrote spiritual awakening. So it's a long list of things that happen during your spiritual awakening. So sensitivity. That means like more sensitivity to light, to noise. Noise was a big thing for me when I started to spiritually awake. Yeah, it was like noisy, but it was like times that by like decimal was like, yeah. And everybody else was like, what are you on about? I was like, and it's just like yeah, very, very sensitized. Fatigue is a big one, because your body, you know, it's emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritual body. Your body's going through things that it's never been through before. So you're going from that carbon, low density, you know, with your ego and your the programming, all of that. So that's going you know, that's low density energy. So you're taking it from that low density, and you're moving up, you know, in consciousness, layer by layer by layer by layer, and you're going to crystalline eventually, you know. So that's going to cause a lot of physical, emotional, mental, you know, psychological things going on in your body, and it does. I can vouch for that because I've been through a lot of these symptoms that I've heard out. So I did do a bit of writing, but it wasn't automatic writing. So it was, yeah, don't like crowds. Yeah, can't be around a lot of people even now. And that's another thing spiritual awakening will do for you, is you get okay with having your own, you know, you don't need company. That doesn't mean to say, you know, lock yourself away and become a hen and a recluse, no. But you get alright with being on your own. And there's times I love being on my own. And I'll just say to my family, you know, they know what I'm like now. But yeah, you need that on your own isolation time. That's where you're healing, your integration, your deep healing occurs, you know, when you're in that isolation. You took away from that external noise. That's where you go into your deepest, darkest shadows of yourself, and the true healing can begin then, because, you know, you can't truly heal in the world full of noise, you know. And on the live, me and Chrissy was just speaking about how fortunate we are to work from home and be able to have that time. You know, there's people out there that are going through a spiritual awakening, but they've still got to go out, you know, to work and be around their human programming and all of that. Whereas I work from home, so I have that freedom that I can, yes, I've still got to be around people that are in the human programming, just like I was, but you know, I don't have to be around big crowds of it. I've got a choice, you know. I don't have to be in that 9 to 5 daily grind of work. That was never going to be my path anyway. I've worked. I've done many jobs throughout my life before my spiritual awakening. But this spiritual awakening's giving me that freedom to be creative also, do something I love doing, help others, have that freedom of when my spiritual awakening ascension symptoms are, you know, a bit unbalanced and that, because even I still get unbalanced on this path because I'm still upgrading. So if you caught my last reading, that's about upgrade and the carbon going to crystalline. Yeah, and I was thinking this morning, I'm so fortunate to have that. There's not many people that fortunate to have that, you know. So I'm really grateful. That also comes into your spiritual awakening. Become so more grateful for the things that you have, and even for the things that you don't have, you're still grateful. So a lot changes, you know. Yeah, you can have sudden outburst. Yeah, you can be an emotional wreck. About a week ago, I was an emotional wreck. If you caught one of my readings on it, yeah, because we was heading into the portal. I was feeling that energy. Yep, you start feeling energy. There's other signs of spiritual awakening. I remember me waking up and thinking, feeling my own energy. It's something you can't ignore, you know, when you feel energy in your body. I was like, wow, what's going on here? You know, when my kundalini energy was rising. And then I remember one day, I could feel others' energy. What's going on here? And then it went from, I could discern. So if a new friend came into my life, I could discern if there was going to be truthful, a trusting friend, or, you know, my antenna was like, my intuition was beginning to get really, really sharp. And my spirit guides also protect me. I'm highly protected. They said I'm even more protected now because of the work that I've done. It's like I've got a shield around me now. Also, because of the work I've done, I can call in protection, and I know how to protect myself. So there's a certain point where I was getting visions of what was to come if I let this friend stay in my life. And I thought, no, there's you know, that antenna was on point, and I had visions of what would happen, and it did happen. And that's all I needed to know, you know. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to start listening to these visions and these precognition. Yeah, I was getting precognition very early on, actually, the precognition. Now I know I was like clairsentience, clairaudience, all that was coming online for me. So your spiritual gifts will come online for you. Yeah, sense of smell. I turned into like a sniffer dog. I thought, wow. And people go, what are you on about? Because can you smell that? Yeah, I could smell things from upstairs in my home, 2 stories down, like sense of smell. Yeah, went off certain foods. My diet was very clean anyway because of the 15 years prior to my chronic illness that I was battling. My diet had to be clean, so I was already on the stepping stone, to clean diet. Just have some water. So my body was already being cleaned out and detoxed and cleansed, and that was planned all along, you know. I look back and everything's been preparation for this timeline. For now, I feel it's this year. It's go time now. This blue moon, you know, that we've just all gone through. Yeah, it's like a rocket's up my butt. That's all I can say. But sleep pattern. You might see me pop up 3 o'clock in the morning, do a video. That's spirit waking me up. Yeah, sleep patterns can change. 3 to 4 in the morning. Some might say the witching hour. That's also another thing that's returned to me. My witch knowing. You know, not because a witch, a label again. Witches was just spiritually awake, intuitive women that was connected to source. But because of the control, the suppression, the power, the fear that the ones that labelled and yeah, they wanted to project that fear into society, and it worked, you know. It worked thousands and thousands of years, you know. But not now, no. So yeah, my witch knowing came back. I should have known really, because my son always called me a witch. My mum always said she got called a witch. So I've healed that witch wound, you know. The witch wound being the divine feminine energy, and returning that voice back to you, and the connection to source, spirit, intuition. Yeah, I've returned that back. So yeah, crown of the head. You know, you might feel a bit of tingling on the crown of your head. Third eye, that's been throbbing like mad today for me. I know why also, because I anointed myself. That's my new thing that I've been doing lately. Yeah, anointing. So I've been enjoying doing me anointing on myself, you know, my pulse points and my third eye, frankincense and myrrh. Yeah, that's part of my Mary Magdalene knowing, anointing Yeshua when he started coming through to me. Mary Magdalene for years, Yeshua probably just maybe on and off, but last year more. So more returning back to me every day, you know. This is spiritual awakening also. Just when you think you've reached the point of that's it now, nothing else can, you know, return. Not, or you can't get any more symptoms, essential symptoms like flu. Yeah, so that's cleansing, purging. You're clearing out lots and lots of distortion, programming, dense energy. It's heavy. You're doing a lot of cellular changes are going on, DNA level. Get interrupted. What else? Yeah, body temperature fluctuations, going from hot to cold, body temperature fluctuations. What else? Vivid dreams. Yeah, just a lot can happen when you start to spiritually awake. I've pretty much had all these symptoms that I've wrote down here, but there's lots more, and everyone's different also. So when your body's going through this emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, you know, your spiritual's coming online, you're going through a major shift. So yeah, I think that's it for that. Yeah, so I'm going to pull some cards now. Oh, it's nearly 20 minutes already. And you know, that's another spiritual awakening sign. You lose track of time. Time is the illusion anyway. That's programming as well. That's control. But you lose. Yeah. Yesterday I lost the full day. Don't know what I did with my day. And then me and my friend Priestess just did a lab. Which, do you know what? I'm really proud of us for doing that, because yeah, this card here, I never thought I'd get to this balanced point of my journey, you know, twin flame journey. No, 8 years back when I was going through all this spiritual awakening, I'm still going through it, by the way, but more balanced. This card does not belong in here, by the way, it's totally different, but I just went for this pack. No lie, but you become more balanced. So all of this, what is happening to you, so your emotional, your psychological, it's happening for a reason, and it's to bring that balance into your life, you know. And by balance, I mean, yes, we're human, but we found the divine, you know. Once we start to spiritually wake up, we found that divine. We found we are divine once we start to spiritually awake. And my friend also mentioned, she went, I think you're at the Sophia stage. And I was like, I know I'm at the Sophia stage. So the stage of the Sophia, for me, is I'm not chasing anything anymore. That goes for my twin, that goes for validation from others, that goes for like work, you know, so pushing my work forward and all of that. Yes, I'm still moving, yes, I'm still doing things behind the scene, just at a more balanced state, you know. And I can actually, I know when the shift occurred, it was the Mary Magdalene cave in France. I came back home more balanced. I'd been doing the work, but I was still having to really, really stabilise these skills, you know. But yeah, and to go live yeah, that shows that I'm in a more balanced point of my journey. Yeah, Sophia stage. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Sophia stage next reading, but we're nearly on to 30 minutes now. Yeah, I'm not unsure anymore of this journey. I'm not unsure of my gifts. I'm not unsure of this journey. I know I'm a twin flame. I know I'm a 144. I know I'm an angel on earth. They've told me that from day one. 144. I had a little bit more of a battle accepting that, you know, because again, labels. It's just a label. But yeah, I'm a soul that came here to do something to help others. Hold the light. Holder of the light. Yeah. But yeah, so no, I don't have doubts no more. Needs time. No, I don't need time anymore. It's go time for me. I'm that rocket. Talk about a rocket up my butt, but I feel like I am the rocket. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Because no more questioning. Yeah, I'm not living in the past. No. But yeah, Sophia stage. Yeah, I'm without doubt at the Sophia stage. And a minute, another card in here. What should not be in here? So let me go to. Let me go to these cards. You know, cards talk to us. Where is it? Just seeing it. Yeah, I'm not in this stage anymore. I'm not in my shadows. Yes, I've got shadows, but I've got my light also. We all have light, you know. But I thought I had to really get rid of my shadows, and no, shadows coexist with the light. That's the balance that you strike. Going through all the emotional, the physical, the psychological shifts, the energetic shifts, the cellular, the DNA, all of that, you know, the spiritual awakening symptoms, that's getting you to your balance. That is then, you know, balancing your shadows and your light. It's about balance. And yeah, twin flame journey is definitely about balance. Yeah, these two here. Yeah, it's a cosmic dance. And yeah, I've reached that point of, so Sophia stage, I've reached that point of acceptance. I found my footing. No, I'm not chasing my partner. No, I'm not. I'm not chasing for anything. I've accepted the highs, the lows, you know, on this journey. I've accepted everything's happened the way it's meant to happen. Yeah. Yeah, I'm at the Sophia stage. Yeah, without a doubt. When she said that, I was like, 100% I'm at the Sophia stage. And I've worked really, really hard to get to this Sophia stage as well. Yeah, it's been a long 8-year journey, you know. Lots of shifts, lots of changes. But yeah, I've found my footing now, without a doubt. And I'm not chasing. And I won't chase ever again, because I know my worth also. Found that love for myself. You know, so yeah, I found true connection. But you know, the true connection of this path, it's that connection you have with yourself. It's that knowing of your worth, that love that you was outsourcing, your worth, that compassion that you was outsourcing. Yeah. So that song, Dancing on My Own. Yeah, I'm dancing on my own in the physical, because me and my twin's gone off healing again. You know, no animosity, no anger, no nothing there. You know, at the first stages of when I was just working for all you know, trying to understand all of this journey and make sense of it. Yeah, there was anger there. Yeah, there was feelings of why are you abandoning me and all of that. But no, I'm at the Sophia stage without a doubt where I'm just so balanced. And I understand what this journey's truly been about now. And it's that connection with yourself. Finding that balance inside yourself. Yeah. I thought it said a naughty word on this card then. I was like, and that's because of the growth, you know. And that's because the shifts that I've gone through. And I've embraced the change. Every energetic shift and everything that's come at me on this path, I've embraced. Yeah, and I've through the challenges, and there's been many, and there is many. But I know I'm at the Sophia stage, that stage where the challenges won't unbalance me now, you know. No, I'm dancing. I am dancing on my own, as that song goes. Dancing on yeah. I'm dancing on my own. I'm okay with that. I'm not chasing this partner on the dance floor anymore. No more chasing for Ellie. No, she's got her footing. She knows. Yeah, and I'm inspired, you know. I'm inspired to like today I did the live, and yeah, we might have been like not put together and all of that, but you know, this path, it's not put together. You're learning the steps. You're not doing a graceful dance at the beginning of your spiritual awakening twin flame journey. You're just learning how to stop standing on your partner's toes or your own toes. Stop tripping yourself up. You're learning to find that balance, you know. And yeah, that laugh, yeah, it was a bit scary, and there's no way 8 years ago I would have gone live with anything. There's no way 8 years ago I would have come on TikTok and spoke about my story, because I didn't have a story then, you know. Still having to go through all the things to uncover this story, you know, to understand that it was about a connection with myself all along. It was never about another. Yes, you are connected. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Pardon the pun. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are connected to another for all past lives, all eternity. Transcends time and space, dimensions, all of that. Yes, it does. That's this cosmic dance of the twin flames. But what it's taught me is truly, you know, is that connection with yourself. Finding that wholeness of yourself. You know, your true identity. Not the old Ellie. No, don't want the old Ellie back. No, this one's a lot stronger. This one's more confident. This one knows the next pages of her story are going to be magic. And I know that because I've learnt the steps of this journey, and there's no more tripping me up, and there's no more losing my footing. No, it's going to be magic, and I can't wait for my next steps. Interruption again. I'm going to leave it there, and I'll be back on to do another, because I didn't get to the cards, but I don't want to take these into 40 minutes anymore. It's far too long, and not a lot of people have got that much time to sit around and watch TikTok vids, have we? So, shall speak soon.